And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new in the franchise, Evil Dead Rises. Now, Evil Dead Rises is the new installment of the Evil Dead franchise, and yeah. So let's talk about the film. So Evil Dead Rises tells the story of this family. You have this mother who lives in like a rundown apartment with her two kids, and her sister comes to visit. Now the sister shows up, everything's normal, everything's fine until something happens where one of the kids accidentally stumbles upon the ancient book text that's basically from the Evil Dead universe. So, they find the book. I won't say which one it is, but one of them finds the book, and then things start to go a little kind of upside down even. There are three kids in the house. You have the youngest one, that's the big sister, and the middle brother. One of them finds the book, and then things start go topsy-turvy when a demon starts possessing the mother, and this is all in the trailer. So, and then from there we get into a big roller coaster of nothing but gore and fun. And that's like the simple way for me to tell this about what the story plot of this movie is. We get an ancient evil entity that shows up into the mother's body and starts wreaking havoc. Okay, so is this movie good or bad? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I really enjoyed this film a lot. If you're not a gore kind of horror fan, movie's not for you. I mean, this movie has a lot of gore, especially if you cringe at certain things. Like this is not in the movie. I'm just saying, for example, like somebody gets their hand with a nail or gets their finger ripped apart or something like that. If you get, gushy about that kind of stuff, this is not for you, because there's some stuff in here that's kind of like, ugh, beautifully made shots. Obviously, the gore is great. It looks amazing, visually. But yeah, if you feel like ugh, with that kind of stuff, this is not for you. As a horror film, listen, Evil Dead has always been a great horror film, but it doesn't have the super great jump scares. You know what I mean? And the mother being possessed was incredible. I thought she did a really good job. It really, when you see her as the evil demon, it's like you want to punch the demon in the face for so much, because the demon is kind of like an ass in a way. Pardon my language, but yeah, it's like that demon does not want to go away. It's like no matter what they do to the demon, it just doesn't go away, and it's just annoying. And the way it taunts and does things to manipulate the others to try to join her, it's like really in like, oh, shut up kind of a way. So it's like when you watch it, it's like, whew, go away. I mean, you have the sister show up, and she's kind of like the new antagonist kind of way. I feel like she could be the new antagonist for the franchise if it wants to continue. She was great. I thought she was a complete badass. And, when you first meet her, you're like, yeah, how is she going to get out of these situations? And she was great. The kids were all great. The little girl who was in the film was like, oh man, you're going to have a little girl in here. She's going to be the weak link, because, the one of the adults is going to have to protect her and get themselves, either killed or whatever. Perfect, great balance of what those two characters did with each other. It was just great. The older sister was cool. That moody teenager character, typical stuff. You have the kind of, curious, boy in the movies where they always curious about something, and then they accidentally do something that they shouldn't have been doing, and it kind of brings havoc into it. So that's that character. The mom who got possessed, like I said, I really wish I knew the actress's name, but she was phenomenal in this. I thought she did a really good job at being that possessed person, and it was just fantastic. Like I said before, the gore stuff was great. There was some funny moments in here too. Even when the demon was trying to crack jokes, was kind of great. I do have one negative about this film, and the fact that there's a moment in this movie where something happens and there's no explanation on how it happens. It just happens, and they kind of give you a kind of like a really kind of an answer to it. I don't want to tell you what it is, because it kind of ruins it a little bit, but it kind of sets up to how the demon shows back up into this shows up into this film, and it's like, huh, that's how. Why? Kind of like that. So when you watch it, you kind of know what it is. May work for you, but for me, it didn't work. I just like, come on, really? But other than that, this movie was great. The gore stuff was great. The action shots were great. You know, the characters were all fun. You know, the main possessed demon girl was probably the best part of it. You know, had like the best moments. The hero of the story was great too. Overall, fun film. I enjoyed it. I really like the Evil Dead films. I mean, Army of the Dead is still my favorite. Army of Darkness, sorry, is still my favorite out of the franchise. I mean, come on, it's Ash. Anyway, that movie is still great. I do know the fact that Bruce Campbell produced this movie, so that's interesting. Him and the original director produced it, so that was pretty cool. So, but yeah. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing another one, if a continuation of this one. Kind of leads off to maybe there could be another one. It all depends on how you look at it. So, yeah. If you like these kind of movies, heck, give it a shot if it's still in theaters. And if it's not in theaters, wait for a digital. It's actually it's a good watch. And if you're not a fan, that's okay too. You don't have to worry about it. If you don't like these kind of like gory scenes, if you get kind of nauseous about it, because there's a couple in here that kind of like... Good thing I don't get nauseous like that, you know. But yeah, I can see why people will get kind of uncomfortable with these kind of scenes. But still, overall, good job with the film. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the brand new Evil Dead Rises. Are you guys fans of the Evil Dead franchise? Not a fan? Did you guys like the remake that we got a couple years ago? I thought the remake was pretty fun. I mean, it's not as good as the original, but still, Army of Darkness, which is the best one out of all of them. So leave me a comment below. Let me know, and also stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.